What is up, YouTube? Now it's probably been a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks since I've last uploaded a video, but most recently something's come up that is actually pretty cool. I've recently joined a UCL type league. It doesn't actually have an official name. Everybody just calls it the UCL, and what it is essentially a sort of like a United Champions League. If you know what the UCL is, go check out the original UCL because it's amazing. So many awesome people worked on it. But here's just something I found on this website called Pokemon Amino. If you have the mobile app, go check me out. I just started I think last week, and this past week I had my first UCL League match. And you're probably wondering, why am I now uploading a draft analysis video? Well, I just got my computer back, so yeah. Now that I have my computer back, I can finally go over my draft. So I just want to go ahead and give credit to Floats, the creator, the owner of this league. He's the one that got this started. So yeah. Now I just want to go ahead and get off and explain how exactly the draft played out. What happened was there were 5 tiers to choose from, and we chose 3 Pokemon from each tier. OU, UU, RU, NU, and PU, which is the lowest tier, and I think this is the first time I've ever used something of that. So went ahead and got, in the way the draft worked, they randomly select you and they put you in a snake format. So went on down the line in the snake format, and I was number 3 in the OU pick. So of course, as you can see on the screen right now, I got Mega Pinsir as my first pick. I went ahead and get up my Mega. As you can see, his base stats are pretty cool. Uh, I'm sorry. Mm. Ooh, excuse me. Mega Pinsir here. Aerial ability definitely comes in handy. Quick attack, good priority, great. He's basically my main attacker. He's a great mega and all that. So he really works out. Uh, I'll explain in the upcoming video exactly my first week 1 battle, and I'll explain how that one went. So anyway, uh, besides Mega Pinsir being my main physical attacking force, I really wanted his speed and his attack, and also, but he's also very frail. So gotta keep that in mind. But his defense is actually not bad, even though I say he's frail. Moving on, we have Clefable, and in Clefable, I guess I should go ahead and pretty much comment on the fact that I already had my draft predetermined, so I figured I was already gonna have the mons that I wanted. Uh, the original mon that I wanted in place of Clefable was Tornadus, and then there was another one, Slowbro. After losing Slowbro, I had needed another wall. So I picked up Clefable pretty much because its special defense is good, its physical defense is decent. You can pretty much run Magic Guard to avoid any kind of status inflicting moves, such as Toxic, and that really comes in handy. Unaware, you can throw that in there against mons that try to set up. It's pretty good. So I picked Clefable. Also, I can run Special Clefable if I really felt like it. As you can see, got a decent amount of moves. Moonblast really comes in handy. So I just wanted to pick up Clefable, also because it's my only fairy typing, and fairies are kind of OP in some cases. So yeah, I got Clefable, though I did not get to use it in my this week's match. Moving on, after losing Tornadus, I decided to pick up another one of the Us brothers, and I got Thundurus. Thundurus is my main electric type Pokemon. However, I know that I have another one, but this one's basically really good. He's good mixed attacker. I can run superpower or instead of focus blast if I wanted to rely more on accuracy. Speed is decent. Also gets let me see here. He also has the ability Prankster, which means I can get off Swaggers, Confuse Rays, Thunder Waves. It's really going to become a bit of a force. Yeah, I really picked up this one. He didn't really come in handy in the first week 1 match because I didn't really pick him. It wasn't much of a place for him. However, I will find places for him in the upcoming one. However, I just see him being mainly a special attacker with Thunder Wave thrown on there just to take advantage of the Prankster ability. So yeah, let me check something real fast. Defiant. Yeah. Defiant doesn't really come in handy unless I'm running Superpower. Moving on from Thundurus, we have our UU picks, and I scooped up Arcanine. Arcanine is a fantastic fire type Pokemon. It has decent speed, it has decent special and physical attack, so I could run either a mixed Arcanine or I can run Choice Banded Arcanine, Life Orb Arcanine. I could run Choice Specs, which is actually a terrible idea now that I think about it. But I can run Flamethrower and not have any repercussions from it, which is pretty awesome. Uh, on top of that, Arcanine is also a pretty good physical defensive wall. Having access to moves like Will-O-Wisp really gets that for him, and with abilities like Intimidate, Arcanine can really, really come in handy. Arcanine, I generally see Arcanine. Now, from what I've noticed on my team for my draft, I have a pretty extensive amount of what you would call it, physical defensive walls. Sorry if you can see this right now. This is not what I wanted to do. I should have done this before the recording. But essentially what happened was, right now I'm typing down my picks. But essentially what happened was I didn't get the chance to scoop up a lot of more attacking mons. So I had to just, looking at everybody else's draft, I came to the conclusion that more walls was really going to come in handy. And that actually did play out better in the first match this week, but it didn't really play to my favor all that well. Uh, but yeah, I decided to go for more walls in my draft, and Arcanine is no exception. One of the things I do plan on using Arcanine for is I plan on switching it up. I plan on throwing people for loops like every week. Like if I'm going to go physical, special, or wall, impish natured Arcanine is a bit of a threat. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Anyone out there watching this Arcanine, once I get a hold of him, gonna be a problem. All right, sorry about that. Moving on from Arcanine, I had my second pick, and the reason I picked this Pokemon second was because in the draft, somebody had sniped Donphan. I'm just gonna say it right now. Uh, I believe it was the user Cupcake scooped up Donphan, and that was pretty much everybody's go-to Stealth Rock spinner. So that was scooped up, and I didn't know what to pick in the meantime, so I just moved on to my third pick, which was Porygon 2. Porygon 2 is a great, is an, oop, 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 didn't mean to do that. Porygon 2, Porygon, true. Porygon 2 is a great wall, and is generally, let me see if that happens again. Okay, no. Porygon 2 is a great wall. It generally walls a lot of mons, and because it only has its normal type, its only weakness is fighting. That's not going to be too much of an issue for me in this particular tier, or not tier, in this particular meta, because not many people chose fighting types. However, the ones that they do have, I really have to watch out for. I really have to watch out which Porygon 2 I'm running, physical or special. Either one, I can run max HP, max special defense, max physical. I mean, Wall Porygon 2 is pretty good, excuse me, especially with the ability Trace. It can really run shop on some people. Trace, say if you've got, I don't know, Volt Absorb, and I trace your Volt Absorb, you can't hit me with electric type attacks anymore, which is pretty cool. Say if I became Levitate, then you can't hit me with ground type attacks anymore. It's pretty cool. Uh, Also, with a Thunder Wave, Toxic gains the move Recover, which definitely increases his longevity as a Pokemon. And Eviolite, of course, boosts his defenses, considering he's not fully evolved. And that is a bonus. But I can also run special attacking Porygon 2 because he gets access to Tri Attack, which is a great special attacking normal type attack, which not many people run. And then there's Analytic, which means which boosts the power my moves if I go last. And then there's Download, which randomly boosts not randomly, it boosts my attacking stats based on my opponent's defense stats. So I can get a boost in physical attack, or hopefully I can get a boost in special attack, which is going to be the more desirable effect. So Porygon 2 definitely comes in handy. I plan on Porygon 2 really taking care of. I plan on it being a toxic Pokemon, just to deal with Pokemon like Cresselia, maybe. Well, that's why I have my next pick coming up. But this is the main reason why I have this Mon. It's just for another wall on my team right now, as you can see on my team. If you have been paying attention, Clefable, Arcanine, and Porygon 2 are my biggest walls that I have right now. But moving on to my next pick, I actually have one of my more physically attacking Mons. I have Crocodile, which is going to be an amazing Pokemon to use. I've already used it, and it was probably the MVP of my first week match, and I'll describe exactly why. But it really proved to be a very effective Mon, and it has proved to me that very often. Anyway, so Crocodile comes in, and he is going to be one of my main physical attackers. I want him to be a stealth rocker as well. I want to run. I want to change it up every week, every so often. I want to run physical defensive Crocodile, set up stealth rocks, get the intimidate drop. But I can also run a very more popular set: max attack, max speed, HP investment, choice scarf, Moxie Crocodile, which is actually what I ran for this week's UCL match, and it actually came in handy. I don't ever see any reason to use Anger Point. I don't think it'll actually. Let me see. But it's not substitute. It's struck by its attack is raised by 12 stages. That might actually come in handy. Depends on how I run it. Hold on a second. Now I gotta fix the stupid thing again. Boom, boop, 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 boop. There we go. Sorry. So Crocodile comes in, and because of his amazing typing, not amazing, I guess I should say, uh, ground, dark, uh, it really comes in handy. Earthquake gets access to that. Crunch can lower defense, and because of Choice Scarf Moxie, every time I kill something with his amazing attack stat, I'll get another stat boost. I'll still outspeed everything, and it really works to my advantage. So yeah, Crocodile comes in, and he's gonna be amazing. At least depending on the picks. So moving on to the RU tier, I decided to pick up a Mon, another wall, if you can believe it, that I didn't want anyone else to have, and that was Alomomola. Alomomola is a fantastic physical wall, just because, on top of the fact that it has incredibly high HP, it's essentially the Chansey of the sea, uh, and you max physical defense, running, leftovers, toxic, scald, wish, protect. It's amazing wish passer that I don't think many other people can contend with because it doesn't have to use the wish on itself. Usually, what you can do is you can wish, and then one can simply wish, and because of its ability regenerator, switch out to a Pokemon that you think needs the wish or can take this hit and then get their HP back from the wish, and then swap back out into Alomomola, who's gonna have his or her HP all the way back up because Alomomola gets regenerate and is cool. I see Regenerator being the only ability I can run. If any of my opponents are watching this, I guess I should just say expect Regenerator. Healer may come in handy, or Hydration. Don't want to give too much away, but yeah. I could also run Special Defensive Alomomola, but it's whatever. Alomomola, of course, is generally just going to be my RU wall. Sorry, I didn't mean to back up that far. Alomomola. After that, my grass type Pokemon that I had originally wanted got stolen from me, so I had to go on to my third pick, which was Cofagrigus. Cofagrigus is an amazing wall, and I keep using the phrase wall, but that's just because that's what I wanted. I wanted so much defense, Offense is a big deal. I mean, I got, let me see, pulling back up my thing. I've got Mega Pinsir, Thundurus, Crocodile. I mean, those guys are going to be amazing walls. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, not walls. They're amazing, but in this kind of league where everybody uses these amazing, amazing Pokemon that just hit like trucks, it only makes sense to invest in a lot of defense. And depending on how I build my teams, if I can build them possibly more balanced with sort of an inclination leaning towards more defensive mons, but then I invest in a lot of my, not in a lot, but if I just kind of like invest in my OU, no, God, I'm sorry, I'm getting all of my words mixed up. If I can just invest in a way to balance out my team between my defensive mons and my attacking mons, then I think things are gonna really work out. Sorry, that was kind of a mouthful. But Pythagoras being able to be a great physical defensive wall, as you can see by his monstrously high defense stat, and because of his moderately sized special defensive stat, he really comes in handy. So, Pythagoras, because of his ability to Will-O-Wisp, I'm sometimes inclined to not run physical defensive Arcanine, but it depends. So, yeah. But Pythagoras also has surprisingly decent special attack, which means if I status a Pokemon and go for Hex, it actually does a hell of a lot of damage. In my week 1 match, I guess might as well spoil it right now. Had I not been running Hex, I probably would have been able to do more damage to my opponent's Espeon and kill it if I had been running Shadow Ball. But Hex really comes in handy if I were able to hit it with Will-O-Wisp, but because it had Magic Bounce, I couldn't. So that was terrible, and that didn't actually work out at all. So moving on from Pythagoras, in the end of the draft for the RU picks, there was a lot of debate on who was going to get the grass types. Oops. Like there were no grass types left. Everybody had picked them up. Amoonguss was going to be my pick because it's a good wall. It's 100% accuracy spore. Rotom-Mow came in to play after pretty much every good grass type was taken, and Rotom-Mow and Trevenant were the only ones that were left. So I was lucky enough to be the second to last guy in terms of getting grass types. So I got Rotom-Mow, and Floats actually got Trevenant, which he did not want. And Rotom-Mow actually plays out pretty nicely. Rotom-Mow is another electric type, so it means I run that stab. And then it's a grass type, which means it's not going to be like it's going to be running Leaf Storm, and it has decently high special attack, but it also has decently high defenses, which means I'll be able to live attacks very nicely. I can see Choice Scarf Rotom-Mow really coming into play, or even Choice Specs Rotom-Mow. So that's really nice scooping up this Mon because up until this point, I really didn't have a definitive special attacker. I mean, there's Thundurus, but he can be mixed, is the thing. Rotom-Mow can't be mixed. Uh, and then I had mainly physical attackers, and then I guess Porygon 2 doesn't really count. You know, I mean, I guess I should say Porygon 2 does count. However, Porygon 2 is mainly run as a wall, whereas Rotom-Mow is mainly run as Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Leaf Storm, Trick. Yeah, Rotom-Mow is basically just there just so I can get that grass stab. I don't know how often I'm going to be bringing him to matches. Really depends. If I look at my opponent's team and I see a lot of weaknesses to grass, then I'll definitely scoop him up then. So moving on to the NU tier, keeping in mind that I didn't have many special attackers, and I didn't really. This is also a big thing. I didn't have really any mons to put stuff to sleep, and the sleep status is a great status to have because if you put something to sleep, you can set up. It's completely immobilized. Set up, switch out. Really, if you're lacking momentum, this putting a Pokemon to sleep can really help out. So that's what led me to my first NU pick, Jinx. Jinx has a nice typing of Ice and Psychic, which means it can handle fighting types. It can handle fighting, poison, grass, and dragon. Oh, and flying too. I'm sorry. Oh wait, ground too. Yeah. So Jinx really comes in handy. It has decent speed, it has decent special defense, and it has really good special attack. The special attack really is going to come in handy. I can predict in the UCL. Uh, I mean, I don't want to knock Jinx for its performance in the first battle. It just didn't get the chance to excel very well. But what I do predict happening is Lovely Kiss is going to play a big part into Jinx unless I decide to run other forms of Jinx, such as Choice Specs, Choice Scarf. I mean, that's really up for interpretation. It's really up to my opponent's team. I mean, kind of how comfortable I feel using it. I mean, Jinx is a fantastic Pokemon, so I'm really looking forward to using it, though I know how frail it is. So if I have any kind of hazards out on the field, I need to get rid of those before I go into Jinx. And if you were paying attention, you will notice that I did not have a single Pokemon to get rid of hazards, which is what led me to. And I didn't have any fighting types either, except for close combat on Mega Pinsir, which is what led me to my second menu pick, which was Hitmonchan. I needed a fighting type with, he is good, uh, great attack. He has great defenses. He's very good in special defense. He's middle of the road amongst his brothers, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. So Salt Vest Hitmonchan really can come in handy. Speed is kind of bad, but that's fine. He just has really good attack, special defense. That's where he really excels. But what really drew me to the Pokemon was his move, his access to the move Rapid Spin. You wouldn't really think that a boxing Pokemon would know Rapid Spin, but I mean, it can really come in handy, and I hope it will. So Hitmonchan comes in and he can hit things with Drain Punch. He can hit things with Mach Punch. It's another priority move that I really like to have outside of Pinsir's Quick Attack and Arcanine's Extreme Speed. And Hitmonchan is he didn't get to play. He did not do anything in my first match, and that was very unfortunate. And I felt really bad about it. But what are you gonna do at the end of the day, you know? So yeah. Also, because of his access to the elemental punches, his Iron Fist ability is really going to come in. Though I don't know how often I'm going to run a more useful, no, not useful, a more physical attacking Hitmonchan when I can just run Rapid Spin and then Mach Punch. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it happens. We'll work on some team building and then we'll see. Okay. So moving on to my last pick. Outside of Crocodile, I didn't really have many stealth rockers, and also I was afraid that relying on Hitmonchan's rapid spin was going to be too much of a crutch to my team, so I got kind of scared. So I decided to pick up a Mon that can get stealth rocks and defog. So that's why I scooped up Archeops, and not really anybody really said anything about my pick for Archeops. Archeops to me just he's my suicide lead pretty much. Archeops is not going to be that useful, even though his physical attack is amazing and his special attack is actually pretty good, and his speed is amazing. Tops out at 350, which speed ties with Gengar if it's not Choice Scarf. But the really only the two uses, or three uses, I guess I could say, is, well, or four uses, is running Stealth Rock, Defog to get rid of Hazard, Taunt to stop other hazards from being set up, and then what is it? Endeavor for when I get knocked down to my Focus Sash, and I can bring other Pokemon down there with me, which is going to be actually kind of freaking cool. I can also run Stone Edge, Head Smash. I can really run kind of any physical attacking move, like Pluck even, and it's going to do mad damage. But however, due to his ability Defeatist, it's not going to come in handy at all because if my HP gets knocked down below 50%, then the attack stat is going to get cut in half, which means if I max out 416, it's going to go down to 208, which is going to become pitiful. So it's really just better running Suicide Lead, utility Archeops, but if I felt like running anything else, if I felt like just getting off a quick Stone Edge, I could do that too. So hopefully I'll be able to carry that element of surprise with me when I use Archeops. But now moving on to my PU picks. The PU tier was kind of like it was like finally we're reaching the bottom of the barrel, uh, and we didn't really have, you know, it was kind of just searching around for things we didn't have. Like if I didn't have another water type, like a good water type outside of Alomomola, time to pick up a good water type. Or if I felt like my team was going to be too slow and it needed another particular hazard to slow other Pokemon down, that's where Ariados came in. Because Ariados has access to Sticky Webs, which kind of, oh god, it backfired majorly in the first week 1 battle, but I'll get to that later. Ariados comes in handy because of his bug poison typing. I can take out psychic types, hopefully, if I, survive, but I probably will thanks to my Focus Stash. Swarm boosted Megahorn can really come in handy. Barring that I don't miss, Toxic Spikes are also another great hazard run with this Pokemon because it means if I set up 2 layers, then any incoming Pokemon is just going to get Toxic immediately. Oh, excuse me. Poison Jab is also an interesting move in case I want to take care of some fairy types, barring that they don't kill me. So Ariados has decent physical attack, but outside of that, his regular stats are pretty bad, and the only reason to really use Ariados for me is just to set up Sticky Webs or Toxic Spikes. So yeah, that's Ariados for you, and that was just my first pick. But then I decided again, he's a good Mon for setting up Sticky Webs and Toxic Spikes, but I kept thinking to myself, I need a Poison type that can really take care of Fairy types. Because looking back at my team, there wasn't really anything there. There was no, let me see. Yeah, I don't have a Steel type. I don't have a Poison type outside of Ariados. But Ariados, like I said, is more utility. So I decided that I needed to pick up a Pokemon that could really take care of any Fairy type, except maybe Sylveon, and that was Arbok. Arbok is he was kind of like he was an odd pick for me. I mean Arbok is a great Pokemon to use in UU, but I didn't know how well he was gonna fare against higher tier Mons, you know. But I believe I set up a few coils, then Arbok is probably gonna really come in handy. Not to mention it's access to Shed Skin, so if you try to get a Will-O-Wisp off on Arbok, then Arbok can just pretty much be like shed his skin, I guess, and get rid of it. Also, with access to Intimidate, then I guess that means I could probably possibly run physical defensive Arbok and just have another wall, but I really doubt that's gonna come to fruition. So finally, the last pick was really just a big pain in the ass. I didn't know what to pick. I had no clue whatsoever what I was gonna do. So I had to really look through my team and just really find if I was missing anything. And this is probably gonna come back and bite me in the ass later because I actually am missing this, or because I'm probably I don't know whatever. If you want to analyze my team, then go for it. But basically, when I look back at my team, I realized that there was one thing that I was missing, and that was a good, decent water type. Now, Alomomola is a great water type, but it is it's a great water type, but it's a wall essentially. It's not good for anything else except walling. If I try to hit a Scald on anything using Alomomola, it's gonna do like 10 damage. So that's when I finally looked towards the top of the PU tier list, and I found this Bibarel, the Godslayer. It's meh. Really, Bibarel is it's another one of those. It's a derpy mon. It was another kind of meh choice for me. I didn't really think much about using Bibarel. However, it can run simple ability, which means if I go for a curse, then instead of getting the +1/+1 -1, I'm gonna get +2/+2 -2, which is actually gonna come in handy because I get access to moves like Aqua Tail, Waterfall, really good physical attacking water type attacks, and then I get access to stuff like Return, Quick Attack, and even Rest. So I can run Rest, Bibarel if I set up enough curses, then maybe I'll be able to sweep. But that's a big maybe because Bibarel's attack stats, as you can see on the screen, are not that high at all, with like maxing out at like 295 with a positive nature, which I don't know. But it gets quick attack, which I guess can come in handy, and I don't know. Bibarel is just kind of there, and I'm not too disappointed with it. So yeah. Okay, so there's pretty much my draft. I'll tune in with the next episode describing how the first week went, and hopefully, uh, before the end of this week, I'll be able to set up another team builder episode for my upcoming opponent, which is actually Floats. So yeah, BT Dubs. I didn't mention this at the beginning of the video, but my team is the Knoxville Noctiles. I am their coach, Master Garrett. If you want to get involved, follow me on Pokemon Amino and follow my progress because I'm going to be doing a lot of my blogging and stuff like that. If you want to, get to know me a little bit more, Follow Twitter, follow me on Facebook, follow me on no, not follow me, subscribe, like my pages on YouTube and stuff like that. And it's gonna be fun. So, yep. Don't forget to support your Knoxville Noctiles, and I will see you next time.